the late and great poet Mary Oliver, who won the National Book Award and the Pulitzer Prize for her incredible insight about us as human beings because we are part of nature. So here are these beautiful words from Mary Oliver. Every day I see or hear something that more or less kills me with delight, that leaves me like a needle in the haystack of life. That was what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over again in joy and acclamation. Nor am I talking about the exceptional, the fearful, the dreadful, the very extravagant, but the ordinary, the common, the very drab, the daily presentations. Oh, good scholar, I say to myself, how can you help but grow wise with such teachings as these? The untrimmable light of the world, the ocean's shine, the prayers that are made out of grass. So it's easy to focus on what's wrong with the world and more specifically humanity's relationship with it, but you already know about that. So today on this World Communion Sunday, I want to focus on what's right with the world. And like St. Francis, sing praise on how we already belong to the world, but we've forgotten it. And how we're constantly invited through the beauty and the diversity of creation. And to discover this, if we only have the eyes and the heart and the soul and the mind to see it. We humans have so much to learn, not only from our human ancestors, but our much earlier ancestors, long before our species. I've been reading a fascinating book by scientist Robin Wall Kimmerer, a member of the Citizen Potawatomi Nation and author of Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants. Any of you read that? It's a great book. In it, she tells the story of her first day in college. Her advisor peered over his glasses and asked, "So, why do you want to study botany?" I told him that I chose botany because I wanted to learn about why asters and goldenrod look so beautiful together. I wondered, why did they stand beside one another when they could grow alone? Why this pair? Why is the world so beautiful? My advisor, she continues, laid down his pencil as if there was no need to record what I had said. "Miss Wall," he said, fixating me with a disappointed smile, "I must tell you, that is not science." Wall continues in her book, "It turns out it is science. Asters, which are purple, and goldenrod, a deep yellow, grow together because their colors are complementary. Think of the color wheel. So butterflies and bees find the combination particularly beautiful. This means that they grow near each other to get more pollination. And it means that beauty happens among us and between us. It is amazing." In the words of Rabbi Joshua Heschel, our goal should be to live life in radical amazement, to get up in the morning and look at the world in a way that takes nothing for granted. And I believe that we are in a moment of convergence because what our souls need and what the earth needs is one and the same. We, humans need to fall in love with this world again, to fall in love with the life that we have been given, to plant seeds in fresh soil, to caress a new leaf and to watch it grow, to walk under a cool canopy of branches, to fall asleep on wet sand and to the sound of the ocean, to be cradled on the dark earth with roots reaching beneath you, to dream of your place among all living, growing things, and of how you belong, and of how we fit here, and of how we adapt to a whole new way to live, to belong to the land of the living, to imagine that there is a future for us through hellfire and rising tides, to believe that we are worthy of this earth and we can live up to its promise. And from that place of deep belonging, to collectively divest from the way that leads to death, to collectively invest in the ways that lead to life, the way of connecting, the way of belonging, the recognition of our need for one another, our interdependence. We need each other to survive. We need all of creation to survive. For we are one body, one home, this sanctuary, this beautiful creation. I pray for our return home. Creator, return us, resensitize us to the beauty of the world, reorient us to being alive in this living system. Awaken us to beauty, which is a window into the mystery and wonder of creation. In Psalm 27, the psalmist writes and sings, "One thing I ask of Yahweh, only that do I seek, to live in the house of the Eternal all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty." Let us see beauty everywhere. Everywhere. In the face of the old, not just the young. The face of the poor, not just the rich. The face of those who are hungry, and to feed them, and to shelter the homeless, and to visit the sick, and to care for those who are dying. As these acts beautify the world. Perhaps in the pandemic, you have become resensitized to beauty you never saw before, and realize how precious it is and how we cannot take it for granted. Perhaps you walked among the trees, camping in Yosemite or the High Sierras or right here in the Redwood Parks, feeling their company. Perhaps you've gazed at hummingbirds sipping nectar in a lush blossom, or you've watched slowly, delicately descend and gently and slowly open their resplendent wings and then close them. As Mary Oliver says, it is what I was born for, to look, to listen, to lose myself inside this soft world, to instruct myself over and over again in joy and acclamation. There are wonders in this soft world we're only beginning to see. Even the tiniest creatures, like the birds who have adapted and survived with grace and beauty much longer than us humans. The iridescent Mantis shrimp has 12 to 16 types of photoreceptor cells in its eyes compared to our 3. It can see light and color far beyond our rainbow spectrum, reminding us that our eyes perceive only a tiny fraction of all that there is, all that's happening in this world. The golden-crowned kinglet is a bird that weighs less than 0.2 of an ounce. Its Song is pitched so high that many human adults can't hear it, but children can. And we can, again, if we sensitize our ears to really, really listen. And what about trees? German forester Peter Wallenben writes about the hidden life of trees. Trees form colonies with one another like extended families, sharing nutrients, caring for those who are ill or weak. Nature caring about one another, teaching us the way. In his lifelong study of birds, Richard Prumm, an ornithologist, evolutionary biologist at Yale, has been drawn again and again to one simple question. Why are birds so beautiful? Why does a peacock have such an astonishingly beautiful display? Why does the black burning warbler have stunning yellow-orange throat? Why do blue mannequins perform spectacular cartwheels together? Why is there such beauty in this home, this garden, this Eden? Our story starts in Eden and returns there too, inviting us to return again and again. Where once upon a time we lived among all the beautiful things, all the growing things, tending the grasses, the trees, the animals. We once knew to go outdoors each day among the trees and the grass, like children do. Among all the growing things, and to be there alone, and to enter into prayer, and to talk with the one to whom we all belong. And there we express everything in our hearts, and all the foliage of the fields, all the grass, the trees and the plants awaken at our coming to send the powers of their lives, even the oxygen that we breathe, into the words of our prayers, so that our prayer and our speech are made whole. Through the life and the spirit of all growing things, made one by their transcendent source. And then we pour out our words, the words of our heart, like water, to lift up. And we lift up our hands in worship. And on our behalf, and on behalf of our children, and on behalf of all growing things, once upon a time we knew how, and one day soon we will again. We were born to inhabit this earth. We are of the earth. We all belong in this one astonishingly miraculous, interdependent community, and we need each other more than ever to survive. Amen.